Alright guys, real talk. Yo guys, how's everybody doing? This is your guy Assassin Dave. Welcome back to another Dave Talk. Today we want to discuss what does a carry player most desire from his or her support. Okay, I think this is a very important topic. Due to our tireless effort, we have gotten more and more people interested in playing support, playing tank, bro. And I have seen just way too many bad support and tank players, alright? A lot of time you're getting a lobby and people are like, don't worry Dave, I'm gonna play support for you. And then they play support and then they play like trash, and because they know me, and then I don't know what to tell them because I don't want them to unsubscribe, but also like they just play really bad. And then today, if you played bad before, we got you covered, boy or girl, right? Today we're going to talk about what does a carry player most desire from a support player, right? If you are playing support, if you are playing tank, listen to today's video carefully, you know? Take some notes, right? Maybe write down an Excel spreadsheet. Every time you play a game, check boxes, right? Am I doing the following things? Am I just doing what Coach Dave was saying in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, X, I, Z, Y, what the... Sorry, I can't do my ABCs. But that's not the point. The point is, we're gonna give you some pointers, right? And finally, the light has been shined to all the support player, you know, for all the carry players out there. Share this video with your friends, with your girlfriend, with your team. I don't care who it is. Let them listen to the video and maybe it will give them some highlight, some hint as well. So without further ado, let's start with point number 1. What does a carry player most desire from a support is vision control. I've mentioned this over and over again. What does vision control mean? Meaning like knowing where enemies are. Now, before I get into what the support needed to do, you have to understand there are a lot of carry players, or a lot of players in general, just don't look at minimap. There can be a team fight that will happen one screen away from where they are standing. Basically, if they just look on the minimap, they will see exactly what's happening, but their vision's limited to the middle of their phone, middle of their iPad, whatever, right? If anything's happening outside that screen, they don't see. And if that's the case, there's no reason for support to provide vision, okay? So for those support players that are playing with carry that don't even look at a minimap, you don't have to provide vision because it's pointless, right? Like, what's the point? You go in there and provide vision, he doesn't even know what vision is, right? Like there was a saying, you know, having a book and not read it is worse than not having a book, right? At least you're just ignorant. If you're not having a book, right, you just don't know. But having a book and not read it, you're guilty, all right? That's exactly the case here. A lot of carry player doesn't even look at visions. But now, let's assume you're playing with a decent carry player who are looking at the minimap all the time, right? But he doesn't know anything, he doesn't see anything because the minimap is blinded, it's fogged, right? Because there's no vision. So what does support need to do is getting the vision at the interested area, a point of interest. For example, if I'm going top, if I'm ganking top, the most efficient way is obviously going from mid lane to top lane directly. Now, if you want me to go from mid to top to have the most efficient, the fastest rotation, as a support, as a tank player, you want to walk ahead of me, check every single bush along the path, right? The bush on the left side of the mid lane, and then right away the bush right next to the turtle or the lord camp, and then right away the bush right next to the lane, the side lane itself, right? Check all those bushes, make sure those bushes are cleared, and if they use skills on you, guess what? If a carry tank player goes into the bush and then they actually have people camping there, they use everything on the tank, great! Then all of a sudden the carry player can feel free to jump in because knowing the enemy team have already used everything on the tank. But if they don't, you walk in, you find out there are two people camping there, they saw a tank walking in, they will just walk away. This will save your carry from some unnecessary rotation, like over detour, so they can just go straight to the lane they want to go, straight to the destination they want to go. Another good example of vision control is, let's say I'm doing a turtle, right? And then I don't know where enemies are, they might be coming, they might be not. As a tank player, as a support player, it's also called zoning, right? Zoning is part of vision control. Basically, if I'm doing a turtle, all the bushes around us, especially towards the enemy side, I don't have vision of them. I don't have vision of enemy, especially if I look at a minimap. If all enemy teams are just gone from the minimap, or if there's only one person, two people showing, where are the rest of the 3 people? I don't know. Well, guess whose job it is to find out? It's the tank or the support player. So make sure you're always getting vision on your opponent. Now remember, a note here is you want to be getting vision at where your carry is. You don't want to get vision. Let's say your carry went to bottom of the gank. You are getting vision at enemy red. Like, you're on the opposite side of the map. That's not vision control. That's called trolling or feeding if you die, you know? That's basically saying like this tank player just literally living a different universe. Maybe he's playing a different game. Maybe his game is bugged. I don't know, right? It happens to me all the time in my rank where we're playing hyper carry and I'm rotating bottom lane, I farm down mid lane, going back to bottom, taking my red, and all of a sudden my support player all went to top lane and I'm the only one bottom. So remember, if you're playing a support, always get in vision at the same side where carries are, all right? Number 2 is called peeling. What does peeling mean? I've made a dedicated video about this, and if you haven't checked out all those videos, What Pro Never Tell You series, our Crown Jewel series for this channel, right? The coolest, the baddest, the greatest, the baddest channel on planet ML. Make sure you go ahead and do that. We go into detail to talk about how to peel properly. Now, what is peeling though? Just quickly going over this concept, it's just to make sure your carry player stays alive. Now, this sounds like an easy job. Oh yeah, sure, you know, I'm just protecting from danger. But in the game, it's very easy for a tank or support player to get derailed. They get distracted. They see a tank player coming in, that tank player might be low, enemy tank player, and then they want to chase this person. Or an enemy carry player might be like 30% HP, and then you're playing a Grok. You feel like if I land one more skill 1 on this person might die, and all of a sudden, your backline carry is like just wide open, and enemy fighter just flank him and he dies, or she dies, right? And you're here complaining, what the fuck? Why is our marksman feeding again? Well, a lot of time it has nothing to do with the carry player. It's really the tank player, the entire team just abandoned them. Okay, so what does peeling mean? When a game starts, you really have to identify, or in the middle of the game, you really have to identify who poses the biggest threat to your backline. It might be an enemy fighter, it might be enemy mage, it might be an enemy assassin, it might be enemy hyper carry, it doesn't matter. Who poses the biggest threat, right? Your carry player also have to have some common sense to position well themselves. Now, with that being said, with that being handled, it's your job to make sure your carry has the biggest room possible, right? As much of a room as he or she needs to deal damage. So you gotta peel away, you know, or scare away the person who has the biggest threat towards your carry. It might be enemy Leomord, right? If that's the case and you're playing a Kaja, remember to save your ultimate when Leomord jumps in. It might be enemy Ling, right? When you're playing a Kufra, and then enemy Ling comes and jump on your backline. Instead of engaging enemy backline, maybe you can engage, and you find a good engage, but you didn't get Ling, and Ling jump on your backline. Stop engaging on enemy backline, come back to where your team is, and use your skill to on Ling to make sure Ling doesn't dash around and he just gets sitting duck. Because if your carry lives, if you win the team fight, you guys can push towers. But if your carry dies and you guys win the team fight, let's say not win, but even out, there's nothing you can accomplish with that team fight. You just wasted your time. You see what I'm saying? And the third point I want to touch up on that's very, very relatable to me is not clearing wave. Okay, when you play a support, make sure you do not go clear wave ahead of your carry. I've played enough games on my live stream where I'm gonna go take my red, and meanwhile, I have my tank not helping me, support not helping me. What they do is they go to the mid lane, they clear the entire wave. When I come over there, there's nothing left. Right? Not even a bone out there, right? Not talking about a shred of meat. No, not even a bone left. Everything's gone, disappeared. Okay, they ate everything, and then guess what? They, instead of helping me, they went to take the HP crap. That's the worst type of support action you can do. Okay, make sure you're not clearing wave when your carry is farming. When your carry is farming jungle, what you need to do is get vision, make sure the jungle is not invaded. Get to the bush, maybe the entry of the jungle to make sure the enemy fighters, enemy teams are not coming in, try to steal the buff or coming in to take your jungle, contest your jungle. So you guys can be prepared for what's coming. But do not clear wave. Also, another good thing about not clearing wave is this forces you to stay in the bush somewhere. Always be hidden. Because this is very, very important. If you tell enemy team where you are, if you're clearing wave, you're giving a lot of information. Not only are you taking away farm from your carry, you're giving away a lot of information to the enemy team. They know where the tank is. If they know where the tank is, they kind of know where the carry is most of the time. You know, because tank and carry go hand in hand. They always go together. So you want to make sure you stay in the bush. I'll give you an example. If the carry is pushing the bottom lane tier 1 tower, instead of helping him hit the tower, which as a tank player, you do minimum to no auto attack damage. And everybody should know that basic knowledge by now, the common sense. So what you need to do is hide in the tri-bush next to the tier 1 tower towards the enemy side to see if they're coming, or hide in the bush next to your tower to make sure if enemy coming from the behind. Right? You can hide in the multiple bushes to flank and wait for enemy team to come in, and if they try to come here and protect the tower, your carry can follow up your engage right away. Maybe you guys can get free kills. So not clearing wave is absolutely crucial and essential for a good support and tank player. Another thing is not last hitting jungle. I can't stress this enough. If you're playing high-lows and you're helping a lane farm, and you have your skill 2 like constantly turn out, it just does this over and over again, right? And then the blue buff is very, very low. Let's say Ling just uses Retri on the red, and he doesn't have Retribution for the blue, and you are still, you took the blue buff from Ling. Guess what's gonna happen in the next 2 minutes? Your Ling is pretty much gonna be useless, all right? It's very, very important that you do not last hit the jungle. So if the jungle is kind of low, just be a shield, tank the damage, but turn off all your skills, turn off all your auto attacks. All right, and the next thing regarding the jungle is make sure you bring the jungle to the bush sometimes. You know, let's say any team has a Hanzo, right? He's staying around the perimeter. He's looking to eat, like, auto attack some minions that just come here, snatch the buff like a motherfucker, right? Now, instead of hitting it and tanking it outside in the daylight, why don't you bring the jungle, red buff, blue buff, whatever it might be, to the bush so your carry can take it with peace of mind. At least enemy team do not know what's in that bush, right? They do not know how low the buff is. They have to guess. If they want to steal it, they want to snipe it, they have to guess it. But if you leave it in open, guess what happened? It's a fair game. You know, and why would you want to play a fair game? Everybody looking for a hack, looking for cheats, because nobody want to play a fair game. That's not true. Let's play a fair game. Okay, last but not the least, stay in front of me. God damn it. Okay, do not stay behind me. What a carry player want the most from a support tank player is stay in front of the carry player when the team fight happens. The last thing I want to see is I'm playing Yi Sun Shin, right? Like I'm looking to do some damage, looking to dive in like a boss, and he got a Tig staying behind me, circling around, looking for his girlfriend, or looking for some like fallen shield on the ground. Where's my shield? Where's my shield? He just lost it, dude. Okay? That's the worst part. When you're playing a supporter carry, you want to be soaking up damage. You want to be staying in front, taking that poke. Now, obviously, you do not want to take poke for free, but you want to always stay in front of the carry, in between the carry and enemy team. Okay, that's your positioning. You do not want to stay behind, unless you're playing Farsight, then it's different. You know, you're staying very, very far behind. You're like a glass cannon, you're just bombing everybody, airstrike everyone. That's different. But if you're playing a freaking Tigreal or Minotaur, do not let me catch you circling around behind me, thinking about life, thinking about when you're gonna get laid. If you're gonna keep on standing behind me, guess what happened? You never get laid. Ever. Not even with hardly cheat Northeast Indian girls. It's just not gonna happen. Let me tell you, okay? It's a fact. Alright, so make sure you stay in front the carries, not behind. So that's all the pointers I have for today, guys. Make sure you share this video with your support player. You know, tell them what you need. Have them write down an Excel spreadsheet, check some boxes so they can improve. The next thing is execute on all these ideas and improve. So with that, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn that bell on to all notification bells. That's the only way you can get notifications from our channel, because our channel is still under shadow ban from YouTube. But I love you guys. You guys are the best. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye now.
Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with